Alright, we are almost done with our ranking process. What we need to do now is get backlinks to our video. So far we have a good description. We've got our video uploaded in the right way, hopefully. And now we're going to put backlinks all over the web pointing to our video, but we're not going to spend a lot of money. And we're going to get actually good backlinks. A good backlink is a backlink from a site that Google has respect for. A lot of the times these are called Web 2.0 properties. And what we're going to be doing in this video is figuring out a way to get a bunch of really good backlinks for free. Okay, here's how it works, alright? Choose the video you want to rank. Let's just say we're going to do this one. 3 reasons to buy Twitter stock. So I've got this video, and we want to get what's called a URL shortener. The reason we are using a URL shortener is because they are tied to Web 2.0 properties. For example, create tiny URL for this page. When I click on that, what I get is a URL at the website tinyurl.com, which has a lot of authority with Google. And only recently has Google allowed that authority to pass through. So what happens is, if I put this in, it brings me right to my video, right? So basically, that URL is a backlink to my video, and it's a backlink from a very strong site. Now what we want to do is we want to generate hundreds of these and then put them around the web. So we're having all of these websites on like blogs. We have blogs and other websites. It doesn't matter where they go, but they will have these links on them, and then these links will point to our video, and that will get our video ranked really quickly. Now here comes the main problem with doing this. If you're using tinyurl, right now I have this tinyurl plugin here, tinyurl generator. If you're using tinyurl, you're going to find that it's always going to give you the same URL, and we don't want that. We want a bunch of different URLs to spread around the web. We're not going to just point to one single URL. The reason is, if we have a bunch, let's say 100 different backlinks from a very strong site, that gives our video even more juice, and it's very easy to get it ranked. So what are some URL shorteners that allow us to have different URLs for the same video? Well, one would be Owly, which works fine. So let's go ahead and shorten this in Owly. But here's the problem with Owly. We're going to be making hundreds of these, right? You've got to go through this stupid human verification every time you want... Oh, where's the button? I got it. Ah, yeah. Oh, yes. Okay, so you're going to have to go through that every time you want a URL. The good thing is, every time you do that, let's do it again. Notice this URL? Every time you do that, you're going to get a different URL. Okay? So instead of having RXIXX again when we do that same process, we're going to get a different URL. Let's put that in there. Let's put it in here, sorry. Shrink that URL. And you got to go through this again. Okay. Alright, there's the syrup. I got it. Yes, and the butter. Oh, that was awesome. Continue. And you get a different URL. You see that? URL is different from this one. So what we're doing is we're going to be collecting a list of more than 3. We are usually aiming for 100 or 150 different URL shorteners to spread around the web. Obviously, Owly is too time intensive. TinyURL only works for one URL. So what I recommend is goo.gl, Google Shortener. You just put your URL in there, and go ahead and copy that, shorten, okay? Here's your new URL, do it again. Look how fast you could do that. But then again, you're going to have to manually put these in a text file. So it's all really troublesome. And what I've ended up doing is hiring a virtual assistant to do this for me. You can do the same. But for this course, I actually set up my first Fiverr gig just to help you guys out. I'm going to allow you guys to Well, that's some other guy I use. Fiverr Varial D. So if you search Fiverr Varial D, you'll find me, and I only have 1 gig. Okay, I just set this gig up yesterday for people of this course, and where's my gig? Well, I should have 1 gig in here. I guess you have to log in. So let me sign in first. But I have a gig in here where you just give me the URL of your video. So all you have to do is pay me $5, right? Um, Give me that URL, and I'll give you back 150 of these shortened URLs. And then you can move on to the next step. Where is my gig? It's in here somewhere. My gig is in here, I'm sure. I set it up. And if it's not set up, I will double check. But I should have my gig in here somewhere, and I don't know why it's not showing up. I want to show it to you to make sure that what is going on? Dashboard. I want to make sure that you can get here, so it'll make it easier for you. Let's see. I've never used this before. Sales quests. Where's my gig, man? I should have a gig. Share your new gig. Okay. Dude, where's my gig, man? Come on. Um, Maybe if you search tinyURL. Oh, this is so annoying. Find me on Fiverr. Okay. Alright, so I've got to edit the gig for some reason. But anyway, this will be up. You're going to find the gig. Here's the image. It's going to be just whatever. Um, find this gig. I'm going to set it up. It's not set up right now. Find this gig. Put in your video's URL. I'll give you a text document that will look in the end. Here's what I did with tinyURLs. Look in the end like this. You've got a bunch of URL shorteners going back to a certain video. So here's one. And it links back to one of my videos. This is what I did for myself. It will link back to a video about Apple, I believe. Yep, when to buy Apple stock. So that's what you're going to get when you buy that Fiverr gig. And once you have this file, you can move on to the next step. And I'm going to show you that in the next lecture. So move on to the next lecture. By the time you actually watch this video, this gig should be up on Fiverr. So you could just find it by Googling Verial, Verial, D, and then just Fiverr. Okay, and you'll find my gig. So that's it. Of course, alternatively, you can hire a virtual assistant. You can do this hourly stuff by yourself, one by one. It'll just take you a long time. It depends on, if you, it's really not worth the time. I just hire a virtual assistant if you don't want to keep using my gigs. Either way, get a list and then move on to the next step.